Most sellers that struggle with building a sizable catalog on Amazon either can't find enough leads or can't spend enough money. Typically, it's a combination of both, but the reason why is because their sourcing methods and frameworks just don't actually make sense for what they're trying to do. If you're storefront stalking, it doesn't make any logical sense why you would have massive spend goals, because storefront stalking is just to get your foot in the door, get you exposure, and overall build your foundation for your Amazon business. So in today's video, I'm going to show you one of the most simple methods to actually expand and multiply your catalog and do the same thing for your spend. And it's so simple that it literally takes one tweak on KPF to make your catalog explode. This is the exact same thing that took me from doing 10K a month all the way to 30K a month in just a 30-day time period. And from there on after, I was doing 30K a month and never really went back to doing 10K a month after I was doing this, because I already had the brands, the knowledge, and the ways of couponing all of these products to make them profitable. So my only problem was that I wasn't finding enough products within a certain brand, and that's why I was staying small. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way, where you're struggling to just expand your catalog or multiply your products or even spend more money. So in today's video, I'm going to bring the solution to you. All right, you guys, so jumping into the video, the Amazon sourcing method that multiplies profitable products. All right, we're literally multiplying products. We're just spawning products, it almost feels like. So before I touch into that, I want to explain to you guys why your guys' catalogs are probably feeling small and it's not really growing the way you'd like it to. So first off, you guys are operating under a one and done pattern, as I like to call it, to where you're finding a profitable product from a new brand that you've probably never found before, and then you're moving on to another new brand completely. And the reason why that's so detrimental is because there's a hidden restart cost, to where every new brand means you have to redo supplier research, discounting, auto-ungating approval if you need to get approval. Not only that, you're digging through tens of hundreds of more products, more storefronts, more starting points. You're literally just having to restart the storefront stalking process over, which, as we know, on some days can be very long and dreadful. And all the work that you put into finding that profitable brand is now just abandoned when you could have taken it a step further and stopped leaving money on the table. All right, and this is really the reason why catalogs plateau. It's not from a lack of skill, because you guys, if you're finding profitable products doing storefront stalking, that's great, because you need to learn how to do that. But you guys are not going deep enough on the stuff that you've already built leverage on when it comes to finding the suppliers that carry profitable products, finding the brands that are even profitable in the first place, and overall, just you're not going deep enough on the knowledge that you've already built. So the solution to this is going to be brand searching through KPF. So the first lesson you guys have to understand is just don't leave the brand you just found profitable in the dust. Okay, most of you are probably just repeating storefront stalking over and over and over and not taking into account that the brand you just found has probably 10, 20, 30 other products that they have on Amazon, and I bet you some of those are good listings. And since you already have leverage over how you found it profitably, what discounts made it work, where you bought it from, you just apply those same exact principles to the other variations. Okay, so that involves using the same supplier, you're already approved for it, and the only variable is the market of products that are on Amazon, and that really just comes down to analysis. So you're essentially skipping all of the hard work that it takes to find a product, and all you have to do is analyze at the end. And this is done through literally just one small tweak on Keepa Product Finder, which I'm going to go ahead and do a live demo for you guys in this video. But here's essentially how to run the brand search. So you're going to open Keepa Product Finder, use Keepa Product Finder to run a systemic search of the brand's full catalog. So the way you'll do this is in Keepa Product Finder. If you guys go down to the title, category, and attributes column, which you should be familiar with if you're storefront stalking the correct way. If you guys don't know how to storefront stock, reverse source, whatever you want to call it, the right way, I have a video on my channel about how to do that correctly, and it's through Keepa Product Finder. I absolutely love Keepa Product Finder. You should not be using SellerAmp anymore in 2026, but we're going to be using the is one of and then typing in a specific brand. So for today's video, we're just going to use the brand Typology as an example. Okay, so assuming that we found Typology profitable in our storefront stalking session, from there, I would take that Typology brand, put it into Keepa Product Finder, because we're about to do a brand search. And you're essentially just filtering by the brand name, and then you're just applying the same sourcing filter criteria that you would use during storefront stalking to spot profitable margins, profitable products, that kind of thing. And now the easy part is you're literally just analyzing products, right? So you're just making sure that the buy cost and the discounting method works and applies to the same product that are going to be the new products you find in your search, and they work the same as the original product you found. And from there, the hard work is already done, right? You just have to apply literally the same stuff and reanalyze different market trends, different products, different variations, that kind of thing. So to do this live and to give you guys an actual idea of essentially how you would run this, okay, we're going to assume that this product here, I was doing storefront stalking and I ended up coming across it and making it profitable, and I actually ended up buying it, right? Okay, so let's say, I'm storefront stalking, whatever. Oh, I happen to see it on, the website. It's $47.90. There might be some other discounts, coupons, whatever, is going on here, but let's just assume, I found it profitably right on the front page at $47.90. Okay, this makes good margin. margin. Cool. And if I've never been exposed to this brand before, this is a massive opportunity to now see what other stuff they carry. So if we're in Keepa Product Finder here, before I even pull up this advanced filter, just off of having our buy box at 20 bucks, Amazon out of stock, and our is one of on the brand section filled in, you guys can see we just took one product and now we have 25 other products that we might be able to find for profit that fit our same Keepa Product Finder reverse sourcing criteria. The only thing I left out here is going to be monthly sold. And the reason why is because when you're searching for more like in-depth products through a brand search, monthly sold isn't something that concerns me as much, just because we already know that this brand is red hot for opportunity on Amazon. So I actually don't want to exclude any other products that even if they don't sell 50 a month, I could make profitable, because it's a much smaller amount of products you guys are going to be looking for, since it's a much more targeted search, if that makes sense. So I don't mind actually keeping them in, because sometimes you can find some bangers, especially if it's, you know, higher sale price. It might make sense to actually buy products that you can only sell maybe 5 to 10 units of a month, because if those compound enough, you might be able to spend a couple grand. So now that I have found my initial starting point product profitably, now I'm going to run an actual brand search using my same storefront stocking filters. And essentially what I'm going to be doing here, guys, is I'm literally just going to be seeing, you know, through the same discounting methods and using the same supplier essentially, or suppliers, if you guys saw that, you know, a certain product came from multiple suppliers, I'm just going to be running a entire reverse sourcing search on Keepa Product Finder, doing a brand search here. So we can see for this product here, this Typology Paris Glow Drops, we can see that it's offered on the brand website for $39.50. It looks like it was the only place it was being sold for. We can go ahead and verify that it is $39.50 here. And again, that's just going to be the discounting mechanism that I'm using for this video. You know, I'm not going to actually go through and like discount stuff, but we're just going to assume that that's the only discount that these guys offer. And you guys can see, I mean, if we can sell this at $64.99, which I literally see no reason as to why we can't, this is another profitable product. And you guys would have already missed another lead from doing the exact same thing that made this lead profitable, because you didn't do a brand search. So let's move on to the next product here. We got this Type 2 tinted light product here. And also, if I'm noticing that like all of these Typology products are only sold on their brand website, which it looks like it is, then I can actually just stop searching on Google and just start searching right in the brand's website for all these products I want to find, because I know this is the only source that carries that particular brand. For a lot bigger brands, I recommend still doing your searches through Google, because if there are other suppliers that carry that brand, you're going to have to kind of restart your couponing process, but it might open the door, an opportunity window for you to find more profit with, you know, different suppliers and stuff like that. But with smaller brands like this, where everything is hosted on the brand direct website, it just makes sense for me to do it, you know, searching it through the actual website. So we can see this one here, $36.90 as well. So if we go ahead and open the Amazon listing, I have a feeling that this is going to be close to profitable. We go ahead and search for this up in Amazon here. So we're paying $36.90, and we can see I already have cost price filled in at $36.90. And if we check Keepa here, looks like offer count is trending upwards. So probably would be more mindful to take into account maybe a $59.95 sale price here as opposed to $62.95. But even at $59.95, we're still making 14.5%, which is pretty good in my book. So that's another product we just found profitably. If we go ahead and look up this Shade 2 tinted lip oil, so we could actually go ahead and do this through the website now. So what is this? A tinted lip oil here. Okay, so we have a lip care duo, a couple things here, a couple things there. We got a bunch of like duos and trios on the site. I think this is the actual like place where you can select your shade. So we are looking for Shade 2 powder pink. So this is powder pink here, and it looks like it is the same powder pink T40, which we can see Tiente 4002. So I might look this up on Google just to verify that I'm actually looking at the right thing here, because yeah, it typically just brings you right to the source link, which makes it easier. So this brings you right to the source link here. So this is also the same product. So at $32.50 going into 52, I would almost bet that this is also profitable and that this looks actually pretty good. So $53 here, $32.50, not as profitable as some of the other stuff we were seeing, but still 13% margin on a really stable Keepa chart looks extremely good. So now what I want to show you guys is the amount of money that you could probably spend if you would be doing this, and then also the opportunity cost of if you're not doing this in your sourcing process and how much spend you're actually losing out on, and essentially why you can't go deep with your catalog because you're not finding enough brands and enough spend to actually do that. Okay, so these three products at the top here were the new products that we found just from doing brand sourcing, and there's still like literally, you know, 20 more products here. But these were probably like some of the better ones that we could find. So we're gonna go ahead and just, you know, analyze this how I would normally analyze how many I would buy. So really great movement, very stable product here. If we were to check data and offers tab just to see the overall velocity from other sellers and get an idea of how well people are selling this, definitely looks like something that that does move. We can see this guy sold a good bit here. But just judging off of face value, we can see another guy sold close to like 1 unit a day here. You know, me being a little bit more experienced, this is definitely something that I would probably buy about 30 units of just to stay in stock for a full 30-day time period, because I think this could sell probably one a day. So if you're paying about $39.50 for something like this and you buy 30 units, you can actually see that we're already up to $1,000, almost $1,200 in spend. And then if we go to this next product here, which is a type 2 concealer here, okay, this one's a little bit more risky, right? Just based off of the fact that, you know, offer count is trending up. We still have a good margin here that keeps us protected though. So again, I'm just going to be running another data offers search here just to see if I can get some better data essentially on how to forecast this buy. We can see that Pan America had been selling a ton of these back in February, and he was selling it for a little bit higher than what we're selling it at today. Doesn't look like there's really any other FBA offers. Actually, here's some down here. So we can see like Wild Beauty sold close to one a day at the same price we expect to sell at, and the collector's aisle sold a ton here as well. Definitely more than one a day, but that might be a little bit bullish, I would say. And then this guy sold a little bit less than 1 unit a day, or very close to it at 71. So this is definitely a product that, again, I'm seeing a ton of good movement here. Would buy anywhere from 20 to 30 units. For the conservativeness of the video, let's just say I'd only buy 20 units because of the uptick in offers. So for this example here, this is $738 in spend. So already we're almost at $2,000 in extra spend just from doing a brand search on product that we already know works. And all we had to do was literally make one Keepa Product Finder filter adjustment. So for the final product here, we're paying 32 bucks a unit, and this looks really, really good. Sells a little bit slower than the other two products here, but we're going to go ahead and actually validate that through Keepa Offers. We can see that this thing is actually ripping for the top seller here. He is moving quite a lot of units of these. So this probably sells equally as good, I would say, as something like this due to there being less competition. As we can see, there is, you know, only about 10 versus that one has maybe like 15. And we can see better movement in the data offers tab here, especially from a good amount of sellers here. We can see collector's aisle was moving some too. So again, I'll be conservative and go with about 20 units. I would probably buy 30 just to be honest, but that's just my expertise speaking there. So 650. So if we total all these numbers up, 650 plus the 738, that is going to be, I'm going to need a calculator for that. So give me 1 second. Okay. So 650 plus 738. And then we also have 1885. So let me go ahead and do 1185. So not 18. So 1185. That's about $2,500 in spend. Okay. And then the craziest part is if we take a look at how much profit that actually comes out to, that's $311 in profit, $174.80 in profit, and $138.40. So if I were to give you a rough math estimate, this is close to about $650 in profit for literally just filtering for this one brand. This is why I'm telling you guys, like, it's probably the most simple addition you can make to your sourcing process that gives you your first bit of leverage and gives you the ability to start buying deeper because you're just going deeper on one brand. And it's still very important to diversify your catalog with regular storefront stocking because it is the foundational backbone. I mean, if you weren't storefront stocking, you wouldn't know that a brand like this exists on Amazon. I know I sure wouldn't because I know nothing about beauty products. So storefront stocking is essentially what gets your foot in the door for opportunities like this. And then being able to brand search immediately after you find a profitable brand is what allows you to start getting up to very heavy spend amounts and really allows you to start making good profits too in a much more sustainalized system in order to actually make that happen. So now that you guys have seen the impact that this has, this is why it's important for scaling because it actually buys you some catalog depth, right? You don't want to just be going super wide because going really wide is great for getting your foot in the door. I keep saying that over and over, but that is how I look at it. It grows your knowledge base. It allows you to learn new brands, new sales, new suppliers, but it's not going to push the needle as far as going deeper on what already works. So 10 products from one brand beats 10 random one-offs every time because it is less time, so it's more leverage. It's likely more spend opportunity as well because you get exposed to way hotter products. Like we saw all 26 of these products. I mean, who knows? Maybe all of them are profitable, you know what I mean? But the ones we look through are profitable. So you're spending way less time searching in a way warmer zone for profitability. And that's just why it works so much better. Also, guys, your replens do get stronger because if the brand ever goes on sale, every product is essentially an opportunity because again, you've already built the knowledge and skill on how to make it work. So then you're just tracking and doing a huge brand search over everything when it goes on sale. VA handoff is also especially easy for something like this because it's just as simple as how you integrated it to where it's like, hey, if you guys find a profitable product, make sure you brand search it, right? It's a very easy like addition to your storefront stocking process and something you and your VAs, if you have them, should be doing. Your brand intelligence also compounds. So you actually start learning loops, is what I like to call them, to where you start learning limited time deals, when deals are going to be running on these suppliers, because you start buying from them so often since you have products now to link back that work on Amazon. And essentially you get sale patterns that transfer across brands, and that can be many different brands if you're sourcing from a big retailer too. So for today's example, I only did Typology, and they are, it seems to be, you know, a brand direct website is where their stuff comes from. But if you're sourcing a bigger brand and it comes from somewhere like Home Depot, let's say, you know, there's many brands that Home Depot carries, to where if you can start finding those brands that work on the same sales as the first brand you found, now you got a whole nother brand. And then that brand has a whole nother catalog of, you know, more and more products that you can go ahead and search through. And it really is effortless spend. Like, I don't like to say that things are easy when they're not, but like this really is pretty easy, guys. I mean, you're spending money just from literally one different filter on KPF in the same sourcing session, and dramatically more profitable leads with way less time invested. Okay, so if I can give you guys a recap of how this whole system works and how you integrate it into your business, first thing you're going to do is storefront stock like normal. Okay, you guys should always be storefront stocking. Again, it's how you get your foot in the door. You guys got to find good products, find good brands, all that jazz through storefront stocking. I still storefront stock till this day. Like, I don't, but my VAs do, because it's so important to stay in the loop. So definitely make sure you're always storefront stocking. Once you find good products and you got your foot in the door, the next step that I would recommend before you actually do a brand search is verify that you can successfully buy the product, right? So there is a chance that this Typology brand might cancel your orders, or they might not allow bulk. All right, you guys want to verify that the supplier you're buying from does allow you to spend money with them. And once you guys do know that this stuff works right here, which apologies for the you know, terrible drawing there, that is when it makes sense to go in and do your brand sourcing, because at that point you verified the entire discount mechanism works, brand is good, the supplier works, and they want to take your money. So that literally now you just go deeper with brand sourcing, you multiply your products, you multiply your spend, and it takes no extra effort, no extra headache, and it probably is some of the easiest money you'll ever make. So with all that out of the way, that is going to end the video. Again, if you guys want to subscribe to the newsletter, link is in the description below. I know I pitch it every single video, but it really is something that helps people start and scale their Amazon business. So definitely feel free to check it out. And with all that out of the way, I hope this really does help you guys out. And that's going to be all for me in this one. So I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace out.